Today's activity is going to be uh, hide and treat. So it should be pretty obvious as to what that is going to entail. But before I actually get into the activity itself, I want to kind of offer an alternative to how I'm going to be doing it. So if you happen to have a dog who is very highly motivated by you, they constantly want to be around you, they don't like to be separated from you, this is a really great activity to kind of get them kind of excited about finding something. So, in that circumstance, you can use your bond as what they're trying to find. So, in order to do that, basically, you can be playing some kind of game with them, playing with some kind of toy. Just throw the toy, have them go get it, bring it back. Eventually, when you throw it, you actually will go and hide somewhere and call the dog and have the dog try to find you. Obviously, I would suggest if you've not done this before, start off with like really easy places for them to find you and gradually build on that. It's really about, again, partly auditories because you're going to be calling them, but they're also using their scent to problem solve to figure out where you are. I would strongly recommend that since that can bring up some anxiety in dogs, be monitoring that and make it easier for your dog to find you so that it doesn't kind of escalate that. The version that I'm doing today actually is for is an alternative where you can either use dog toys or you can use dog treats, and you essentially kind of hide them around. And the dog is encouraged to kind of go around and smell and figure out where that object or that food is. Again, the first step is to kind of make it a little bit easy for the dog to find the food or the toy, and then gradually make it more challenging. This is an activity I do with Bowie pretty routinely. So I'm going to start off really simple just to kind of show you how you can like hide something really easy that they can find. But we're going to kind of speed through that piece because it'll be really easy for him to figure out. And then I'll show you kind of how he is now that we've done this for a while. So since I want to hide these treats and not have Bowie know where they are, right now you could see he's right behind me. And this is the room that we're using. So I'm actually going to have him go into another room and have him in a spot where he's not necessarily easily able to see where I'm putting things. Since the first round is to make it a little bit easy, I will actually let him stay in an area where he can see what I'm doing. So it's a little bit easier. And then again, I up the ante and make it harder by him not seeing where I'm putting them in harder spots as we gradually go. So unfortunately, I'm not going to turn my camera around because then you'll see my bed is unmade. So I'm just going to call him over. And I have a little dog bed that is right over here. So I'm just going to have him come over to this dog bed. That way he can kind of sort of see what I'm doing, but it's not super easy for him. So, okay, Bo, come here. Come in your place. Come to your place. Okay, I want you to wait. So once he's in his spot, and I know you guys have been practicing the sit and wait, once you have him in a spot you want, again, you're just going to kind of hide the food in really easy spots where it's not super difficult for them to find, but it's also just kind of getting them used to what this activity will be about. So the goal will be that he walks to all three of these spots. Okay, find it. Again, this round will be really easy for him because he's done this before. Once he's gotten all of the items, the next step is to make it a little bit more challenging for him. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have him on a bed that's actually not in the view of this area, and then hide those treats a little bit. Okay, come on. Bowie, come to your place over here. Sit. Wait. Wait. So the treats I'm using for this round, they still are some meaty treats, but they're not super, super high value. I'm saving those ones for when I hide them really challenging. So I'm just taking a handful of treats, and again, I'm just, go to your place. Go to your place. Wait. I'm still making it so it's somewhat obvious, but I'm not putting it in anything, but kind of like hiding it around corners so that he has to kind of work for it a little bit more. You can always toss some on their dog bed and kind of put some right below it, just so that it's, again, building up what they're supposed to be doing. Once you have the room set up, then you can call them over. Come on, find it. And then he has individual spots where he needs to go. So again, I upped the ante a little bit where he couldn't see where I'm putting the items, but I also am hiding things around the corner, putting it just a little bit under something so that it's still visible, but it's he still has to kind of work to get it. And just so you guys know, I have a combination of crunchy treats and I have a combination of soft and meaty treats that I'm using right now. It provides different textures, which can be, again, a little bit more entertaining for your dog. Find it, Bobo. Yes, good boy. Yes. Okay, so he got all of those. So the next step I'm going to do is make it even more challenging. So his really high reward ones are, I know it's hard to see with the light. I have these little chicken heart things that I cut up. They smell terrible, by the way, but they are something that I know Bowie really, really likes. So I'm going to use those really high value ones, and I'm actually going to make it really a lot more challenging to get those ones. So I'm going to have some of the meaty ones that are kind of medium value. I'm going to have those in kind of around corners. I'm probably going to put some on a chair, but then the really high value ones that he really wants, I'm actually going to try to hide them under a blanket, or in my case, I'm going to put one in my shoe, or something that he actually has to kind of smell and sniff to figure out where it's at. So again, I'm going to have him go into the room, into the spot where he can't see where I'm hiding it, because this will make it really challenging. Okay, go to your place. I want you to wait. So again, I still have some crunchy, meaty treats. I would say you still want to kind of make it somewhat easy for some spots, just to kind of keep them involved and interested in what you're doing. And then the really hard ones, I'm going to use his little toy container. And I'm putting some in the various different spots in his toy because he has to sniff around and dig for where they are. So I'll put 2 of them in there. Let's see. I'm gonna put one under his, oh, go to your place. Nope, go to your place. Go to your place. Wait. So again, we're training. So obviously he's staying, but this part is hard for him because he knows what the smells are. So I'm gonna put some, again, on his dog bed, but I'm gonna kind of put one under, but not let it be visible. Like I said, I'm putting one in my shoe, and that one will be the highest value one. And then I'm gonna put a few around the shoe just to kind of get him in that area. Bowie will go in his crate, but usually just for an activity he won't. So I'm gonna toss some back there just because it's a different obstacle for him to go in. And I have a few less high value items, so I'm just gonna kind of sprinkle them around. Once it's all set up, I'm gonna turn this a little bit so that you guys have it, hopefully an easier time seeing some of this. Once it's ready, we just call him over. Okay, go find it. This can be a really great activity to do with just like a regular feeding. So if you are getting ready to prepare the morning meal, this could be kind of an alternative. Instead of having it in a slow feeder or instead of having it in a dog bowl, you can kind of hide it around in different spots for them to find. I would say you could do this in the yard as well. Grass naturally makes things a little bit hidden that they have to find. My only suggestion when it does come to that is to make sure that you check your yard first to make sure that there's not anything that is in your yard that you wouldn't want your dog to eat. I know I live by an alley and sometimes people will throw random food in my yard, which is disgusting, but you do want to make sure to check it. But it is a great way to do that for your dog as well. Find it, Bobo. And of course, since I've been feeding him high value treats, he's choosing not to eat the crunchy ones anymore. So he's found it, he's just choosing not to eat it. Good boy. Find it. Again, this is a combination of training because we're making them wait and stay in a particular place. It is also training because we're giving them a release word. It's teaching them inhibition because obviously, as you saw, Bowie had kind of a hard time waiting in his space until I told him to leave because he really wanted those chicken hearts. And it's also sensory because they are having to smell not only for the objects, but you're putting them in different places. So they're having to use both their eyesight to kind of see where things are, and obviously like different textures because you're putting them around the various place. So where's it? So I'm just kind of going through to see kind of what is still left. The only one that's still left is what's on the chair and a couple of the hard treats that he's not wanting to eat. And since he's having a hard time figuring out where it is on the chair, because normally he won't eat things that are on furniture, this is where I'm going to step in and try to encourage him to smell in a specific area. So, Bowie, can you find it? Yes. Find it. Good boy. Good. Yes. Good boy. So that one was harder because he actually had to fit his head under my arm of my chair. So again, this is just a little short activity, something to kind of keep you guys sane during this time. Tomorrow is actually just going to be a video. We're going to start our weekly recipes. So when we do those, basically it's going to be things that you can use around your house to either make Kongs, ice cubes, or slow feeders, or just things just to kind of shake things up from your dog's regular diet. So if you guys have any comments, suggestions, anything that you guys want to see for the coming weeks, please make sure to let us know and have a great weekend.